All right, let's talk about some of those big, heavy questions. You know, the ones that circle around in your head late at night when you're trying to make sense of things.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a huge one, right? Why do cruel people, the bullies, seem to just sail through life while the rest of us, especially for anxious, just seem to get hurt? It feels so backward, doesn't it?
Or how about this one? I bet this sounds familiar. You finally start standing up for yourself, setting some boundaries. And what happens? Instead of feeling amazing, this huge wave of guilt just crashes over you. It's like, why does doing the right thing for me feel so incredibly wrong? And then there's maybe the weirdest one of all. Things are actually going well. You've worked for it, you've earned it, and yet a part of you is just waiting for it all to fall apart. Why on earth are we so afraid of being happy?
What's so fascinating is that all of these questions, they all point to the exact same place. And it's not somewhere out there. The answers, they're within us.
So let's start with our first big idea here, which is called the mirror principle. The whole concept is pretty straightforward, but really powerful. Your outer world is basically just a reflection of your inner state.
And this quote just hits it right on the head. Happy people don't bully. Think about that for a second. It's so simple. People who are genuinely okay on the inside, they just don't feel the need to tear others down. Bullying isn't a sign of strength. It's a symptom of some deep inner pain.
And this is where it gets really interesting. On the surface, you see a bully and a victim, and it looks like a simple case of strong versus weak. But if you look deeper, what's really happening is a strange kind of connection. The bully is lashing out because of their own anxiety, their own feeling of being powerless. And that negative energy, well, it finds a match. It resonates with someone who also has that same unresolved feeling of anxiety or a history of being hurt. It's not about blaming the victim, not at all. It's about seeing that it's often two sides of the same wounded coin.
So, what does that mean for us? It means waiting around for revenge, hoping the bully gets what's coming to them. That just keeps you stuck. It keeps you tied to that pain. The only way to really, truly break free isn't to focus on them. It's to turn inward and heal that part of you that feels vulnerable and anxious. That's how you cut the cord. That's freedom.
And that leads us right into our second principle, which I think is a total game changer, the compass principle. This idea asks us to completely rethink what negative feelings are. What if they aren't your enemies? What if they're actually signals?
Yeah, instead of seeing things like anger or guilt or pain as something to get rid of, imagine them as a compass, an internal GPS. When it points to pain, it's not broken. It's working perfectly. It's showing you exactly, precisely where you need to look inside yourself to find what needs healing.
Let's make this real with a few examples. You know that guilt we talked about, the one you get for speaking up? Well, your compass is basically screaming, hey, you're breaking an old pattern. This is new territory. Or what about that nagging shoulder pain that no doctor can figure out? Maybe, just maybe, it's pointing to a dream you gave up on, a weight you've been carrying that isn't yours to carry. Your body is always, always trying to talk to you.
So how do you actually use this compass? Step 1 is the most important. You have to stop fighting it. You know that whole just think positive thing? That's like yelling at your compass that it's wrong. It doesn't work. What you do is you just acknowledge it. You give it a voice. You say it out loud, I am so angry right now, or I feel so guilty. By doing that, you're not giving in to negativity. You're just reading the map. And you can't find your way if you refuse to read the map.
Okay, all of this is building up to our final big idea, the freedom principle. And this is the one that really gets to the heart of that whole fear of happiness thing, by looking at the invisible rules we all live by.
Think about it. We're all handed this script. From the time we're little, we learn these unwritten rules, right? Be considerate, don't stand out too much, don't be selfish, you have to be responsible. We learn to play a part, to fit in, to be liked. And a lot of the time, our real self gets buried underneath all of it. And to just slice through all that noise, all those shoulds, the material we're looking at poses this one devastatingly simple question. Imagine you're at the very end of your life. Will you be glad you spent it living for other people's approval or for yourself? Wow, I mean, that really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
And that is the key to why we sometimes mess up our own good fortune. Deep down, on some ancient primal level, breaking the rules feels dangerous. It feels like we're risking being kicked out of the tribe, being left all alone. So that fear of happiness, it's not really about being happy. It's the fear of what might happen if we choose our own path and leave the safety, even the miserable safety, of the group. So, after going through the mirror, the compass, and freedom, what's the one thing you should really take away from all this?
It's this: real, lasting change. It doesn't happen by trying to fix everyone else or waiting for the world to play fair. It's an inside job, through and through. It's about finding the guts to finally listen to yourself, to heal what's broken inside, and to start writing your own story, no matter how scary that feels.
So I'll leave you with this. After everything we've talked about, just take a second. Get quiet. Your inner world is your compass. What's it pointing to for you right now?